We're live, everybody. How y'all doing?
I don't think there's anybody here.
They'll come in. Just give it time.
There we go.
If you wait, they will come.
I remember last week there was a whole group already.
Oh man. B Wezzle.
There he is. As of yesterday, no, I did not. I did not check my mail today, though. I came home and came right up.
So what do you got on your agenda for today?
For this,
Yeah.
we got a special guest. Our first guest.
I don't know if I put all that special on there, but
Lefty Years came back in the tin, sending that as well. All right.
That's strange. Something must have happened with the mail.
Yeah, it sucks. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, it definitely does for now. I've been very fortunate. I just got fish off of Special. Is Jay there? That's what Alshon said. Hello, Bex.
Ibex, Alshon, Special. Who's Jay? If Jay there.
It'd be somebody y'all would know because I'm not good with the first names.
I don't know any. I don't know.
Jay Stevens, his cichlids are special. I see what he's saying.
It
It sounds like Jay's getting out of it after this year.
Who is? I don't know who Jay is. Do I? Do I know Jay?
He hasn't been around in a couple years. He mainly supports capital cichlids, but up in York he deals in a lot of African cichlids. But his township's weird. Like you can't actually buy fish from his house. You have to go meet him somewhere for it. But yeah, his wife's been having complications for years. So he told me after this year he's hanging it up.
Oh,
yeah.
Unfortunately, it happens.
yes, it does. Yes, it does. I'm glad I was able to make it on time today, though. Last week we had a special needs person walk out of the aquarium, and today
that
was last Saturday. Today we had a kid get his foot stuck in the escalator.
Jesus.
So that actually happens. Okay.
Right?
Yep. Keeps me busy. Is he vending at the Clash? Is Jay vending at the Clash? I don't think so.
No, he told me the only club he wants to support is Capital Cichlid Association. So he said he wasn't interested.
Jenny Lynn, hello. Bex, Alashon, Weasel. All right. We'll get started. Lefty's running late. Likely excuse.
It's his excuse every
Exactly.
weekend.
So this is the second stream. Hoping to do this weekly. And as I talked about, Sherry is still live last I saw, but once she wraps up, more peeps should be joining chat, I'm sure. All right. So as I mentioned last week, my goal with this stream is to highlight the clubs, whether it's an individual club or just clubs in general, something very important to me and to the hobby, in my opinion. So, someone we're trying to get into the Fish Fam and get streaming, who I know very well, and randomly reached out to yesterday. Actually, on your birthday, Facebook, I commented on Lefty's post asking what you were doing tonight.
I didn't even see it.
You on a date because I wanted to get you on the stream. So, with us tonight, we have Blake Stevens. He is the president of the Cichlid Club of York, the CCY, who, by the way, is the co-hosting club of the Keystone Clash, which, if I did it right, the address is scrolling across the bottom of this screen. If anybody can confirm that I did it right. No? Shit. It should be.
There
Oh,
it is.
Look at that.
Good job, Scotty.
There we go. Hey, we're already going smoother than last week. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So we work a lot with the Cichlid Club of York, the ACLC that is. Rico, hello, welcome. Hope you're feeling better. So we do a lot of planning together, a lot of setup, and we as a group run the show. Blake is on the senior admin committee of the Clash, and probably knows more about the Clash than I do because he's been around longer than I have and a part of it longer than I have. As far as the Clash goes, Blake is in charge of sponsors and does a hell of a job with it. Hell of a job.
I appreciate it.
He also works with the vendor room. Last year we kind of pulled that away a little bit, or I'm sorry, for this year we pulled it away a little bit and put a lot of the workload on someone else, just because sponsors are so time consuming and donations and it takes a lot and it's working. We I think we have more sponsors and donations than we ever have before. So that is very much appreciated. Matt, hello, welcome. And so would you say these are the official Clash holes? Well, two of them, that's for sure. Two of us. But there will be more joining here, hopefully. So we got 12 people in here, so I think it's time to get started. So Blake, how long have you been president of CCY?
I took over the CCY and probably the most unfortunate time it could have been January of 2020. So I got to run the club for the February meeting. I believe we were there for March, and then COVID turned the world upside down. So I had about a almost 2-year break, but back at it, trying to rebuild our numbers and going strong as we were.
Yeah. So Cichlid Club of York is in York County, Pennsylvania. I've been to probably 3 or 4 of the meetings. I'm a member, but it's a long drive, and it's a crappy drive. There is nothing good about that drive out there. I absolutely hate it. Saturdays are very difficult for me to get off, but when I do get some random ones in addition to the one that I already take off for ACLC, it's I do my best to get up there. How long have you been a member of CCY?
Since the very beginning. This is our 10th year, so 10 years.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Exciting. And I believe the one that started the club is a well-known name on YouTube. If you
Yes, sir.
Him and that. And...
Yeah, so Scott McLaughlin started the club alongside with Lonnie Langione back in 2012. And it actually started because Lonnie used to work for a company installing garage doors. And Scott had a mishap where he was pulling into his driveway and hit the gas instead of the brake and drove through his garage door. Oh, you didn't know that?
I did not know that part.
Yep. So lo and behold, he calls up Lonnie Langione to come out, give an estimate, and Lonnie walks in. Scott's got all these fish tanks with big South American cichlids in it, and just kind of took off from there. They talked about, hey, we should, start something in York County. And I know they were both members of Aquarium Club of Lancaster County.
Right.
And Scott was trying to push ACLC more, like, hey, we should get more cichlid involvement. And, Joel wasn't a huge fan of it. And Scott's like, well, if you don't want to do it, I'll start my own thing out on my side. So, and then obviously Scott, he ran the club for 3 years. And then right after that, Dwayne Walker took over, and Scott started up King and Queen Cichlids, which I know all of you are very well aware of. Pretty popular channel there. But but yeah, then Dwayne ran it for 4 years, and then I took over, and here we are.
Wow, that's exciting. Yeah, I didn't know quite a bit of that, so that's pretty interesting. So yeah, Scott McLaughlin started the club. King and Queen Cichlids is his YouTube channel. He's unfortunately slowly, well, actually, he has slowly been getting out of the hobby, and he's done now.
Yeah.
Yep.
At least for now, I'll say. Hopefully he comes back. Hopefully he does come back. But he is an amazing photographer. He's doing great things with that.
Oh,
and anyone who's interested in photography, I suggest you still find him on social media and follow him and support him that way, because he does great things with anything he puts his heart into, for sure. Couple more hellos I want to put out there. Vanoxy, however the hell you say that, hello. The Nano Aquarium guy, hello. And Lefty's blabbering in there about something. And Color Guppies, Vinay, hello, sir. So a lot of people, unfortunately, don't have clubs around them. So why don't you tell us about how a normal club meeting goes and what other types of events you also do throughout the year as a club?
Yeah, absolutely. So, like Scotty said, there are people who are very unfortunate to not have clubs. And I got to say, in our area, we are extremely fortunate. Just within, I don't know, I'd say 2-3 hours of my house, we have CCY, ACLC, Capital Cichlid, Bucks County, the New Jersey clubs, Lehigh, Mid-Atlantic Killifish, and a couple others in between I'm sure I'm missing, but very fortunate. And then you got people like Skipper, who, where is your nearest club, Skipper?
Yeah, you.
And that's probably what, about 2 or so hours for you?
Yeah,
More?
about 2 hours. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you vote that CCY moves to Connecticut, I don't know about that, Lefty.
I vote that Lefty joins the stream here.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
No, he's stuffing his mouth with food right now.
Still?
But yeah, if you're within, I'd say if you're within like an hour and a half of a club, that I would recommend getting to as many meetings as possible. So basically, you come to the meeting. If you're just a member, you walk in. Normally, we got your registration crew there waiting to greet you. You sign in. A lot of the clubs, well, I'm sure all of them do some sort of raffle tickets. We do 2 different types. We do a members raffle. So if you're a member, you walk in, automatically get 1 ticket. If you're wearing some sort of fish-related shirt, you get 2. Then we sell our regular raffle tickets, which gets you raffle prizes donated by sponsors. So like we obviously, like Scotty said, we host the Keystone Clash with the ACLC, which is a double-edged sword in a way, because if we have leftover donated items, they get split between the club for raffles. But at the same time, you can't really double dip into some of these companies. So like, let's say API sends us a bunch of stuff for the Clash. Well, then our 2 clubs can't turn around and say, hey, could you donate some stuff to us? They will know we already donated to you. So that's kind of like one of the few double-edged swords of that. But yeah, you have your raffles. You always have an auction, so people bring in the fish they bred or just stuff they want to get rid of. That's the best place to get some deals. I mean, just today we saw fish. Lisa Hober came from Super Cichlids, and there were bags of fish going. She stopped. She goes, "Hey, I sell that fish in my store for $100, and I think the bag of like 6 of them went for $3-4.
Yeah.
So definitely get some great deals at club meetings. You have a speaker. Typically, it's somebody either like more experienced in the hobby, more well-known, or even just get some of your local members that, hey, I have a topic, I want to talk about it, I know a little bit about it, and then you just go from there. I mean, our club's had anybody from our vice president just talking about stuff to make your hobby easier and cheaper, all the way up to, Jim Cumming, Paul Lizelle, and any name in between there. But we always have food at our meetings. It's just great conversation with people. Yeah, that's the best part of the meetings, right, Scotty?
Especially in York. I mean, that's some good food out there.
That's one thing we've always been very fortunate with. Definitely a lot of food at our meetings.
Yes. Tell us about the speaker you had today.
So today we had Sue Harkey, and this was only her 3rd time presenting to a club. She was referred to us by Karen Haas, which mostly everybody in the local area knows. And she's like, hey, she spoke at Lehigh back when they were still having meetings. She did great. Check her out. So we booked her. She's up in New Jersey. I think like New Denville or something. She's part of Ted Coletti's tub club. I don't remember what the name of it is, but she talked about commercial food. And I'm not going to lie, when I first heard about the topic, I'm like, how can you make a commercial processed food talk interesting? And man, she did it. She did a fantastic job. Just a lot of stuff. I mean, we had Lonnie there. He's been keeping fish for 50 years, and she's even saying stuff that he had no idea existed, or just stuff that she really made you think about certain things you never really would have thought about. But it was great. She would have comparisons like food A and food B has this, this, and this, and which is the better food. And then she breaks it down what all these little scientific names and chemicals, what it actually means. So it was actually a really good talk.
Awesome. And let's see. Lefty, welcome to the stream. Better late than never.
Howdy.
Stephen P is in the chat. And Ted's Club is Skylands Aquarium and Water Garden Group.
Yes.
Thank you, Alshon.
Yep, that's what it's called.
So what other events do you do as a club? One I'll highlight that I was at and had an amazing time at is your Christmas party. Tell us about that and your other events.
So yeah, like Scotty said, we do a pretty big Christmas party. It's been getting bigger every year. It's just one of those deals. I mean, kick back, relax. You don't have a speaker. You don't have. I mean, we have an auction. We have raffle, the typical stuff. But it's very informal. I mean, you show up, you eat some food, have a good time. We did a bunch of games. And I give a lot of that credit to my wife because she is super creative when it comes to that kind of stuff. She's like, oh, yeah, we did ornament toss. She's like, we'll toss an ornament back and forth. And at first I'm like, people are going to really enjoy that. And we had people diving on the floor for them. And it got competitive really quick. Yeah. And we did like that game. I don't remember what it's called, but like you put on like oven mitts, a hat, roll dice, and unwrap it. And man, that was a contact sport right there. I tell you what, but.
Yeah.
And tons.
It was insane.
Yeah, and tons of food. If you left there hungry, that was your fault. Just a great time. But other stuff we do, a lot of clubs are getting into doing the swaps. Which if you run a club and you want an easy, fun fundraiser, do a swap. You get your space, even if it's your normal club space. Show up, set up some tables, charge people $15, $20, $25, whatever you feel is fair. You set up tables, sit back, let everybody have a good time, and then. That's about it. It's a great way to get some hobbyists out there to sell their fry or anything they're raising up, and great fundraiser for the club. I know Lehigh Valley just had theirs today, and that was a packed house.
Yeah, but, video from that. And I think there was quite a few from the Fish Fam there. I saw on some of the posts that I know Susie Q was there selling. Fishymon was there. Jason, the degenerate fish keeper / depths unknown / whatever. He was there.
Oh my god!
Who else did I hear was there?
Color Guppies was there.
Yes, Vinay was there. So it's just another opportunity for the Fish Fam to get together and have fun, and a lot of. A big part of the clubs that I really like is it's a way to get different species of fish throughout there. The fish swaps gets them out there, and the club auctions for sure. And also just the interaction. You get to talk with people, other fish nerds, and tell them what you have, what you like, what you're looking for, and word gets around, and it helps out. Blake, what would you say are some of the rarest fish that have come through the club in the auctions?
Actually, a pair. I didn't get the pair from the auction, but I've gotten fry from it. But I actually just bred them. Stomatopia maryi from West Africa, the lake Borombi and Bow. I believe I'm saying that right.
I don't know what you just said. That was a lot of words.
But it's I think
like a cichlid.
It is. It's a it's only found in this one crater lake. It's critically endangered. It's probably gets about 6-7 feet or 6-7 inches, not feet. Not but a mouth brooder, very, very ugly fish. I'll tell you that much. It is not. It's not like a pretty like Lake Malawi or Tanganyikan. It's an ugly fish. It's got a mean look to it, but it's critically endangered. Not many people keep it. I got these from a club member of ours, Tim Hughes, but Karen Haas bred them for a while, and what hasn't she bred? But they were making their way through our club auction for a while there too. But I'd say that's probably the rarest that I could think of, just because I don't really know anybody else that has them.
Now, the auctions. During normal times, which we're coming out of, and so I know some things have been a little slower for some clubs, but others, I think, coming out of the auction, the pandemic, auctions I've seen have been bigger too. On the same hand, do you find that you get a lot of good deals? Is it profitable for the club members? What are some of the craziest prices you've seen, whether it be the cheapest or the highest end?
Yeah, so auctions they're definitely better for the. I guess it depends on what you're selling that day, because most of the time, what I found, at least in our club, it's definitely better for the members than it is for the club. Because I've seen, like I said earlier, bags of fish that Lisa Hoberstein I sell these for $100, a couple inches bigger, going for $3. But then I was at ACLC. I think it was just last month when Sal was speaking, and there are these. It's a pair of half black purple guppies. They're selling $50 for multiple pairs left and right.
Yes.
Like that was crazy to me. I mean, I remember when I first started, I got I think it was 2 or 3 trios of guppies for $10, and that was pretty well average. Blew my mind.
Yeah.
I still can't get over how much those L46s are going for. To me, that's just disgusting. But that's just me.
Yeah. It's it's a good time. The food, the auctions, the speakers.
Absolutely.
It's a great learning opportunity. And then again, I just can't emphasize enough just the opportunity to geek out with other fish nerds. It's a great time for sure.
It's definitely what the hobby's about too. It's not just the fish; it's definitely the people. I know during COVID, when clubs were shut down, that's when I really realized it, because I go down to the fish room, and then maybe a couple days later, I just wouldn't touch them, and but yeah, I actually almost got out of the hobby. I almost threw in the towel, saying, "Hey, I'm not running for the president next year. I'm going to shut down the fish room." And I think it was just that general, you have the fish, but you don't have anybody share the experiences with them. Facebook and social media, it only does so much. It's that in-person interaction. Just like you go to the Keystone Clash. That's just an eruption of excitement. Everybody's just so excited to be there, and it just brings you a whole new appreciation for the hobby in general to be somewhere like that.
Yeah. What would you say are some of your best memories of the CCY? Things that really stick out.
One thing we were actually just talking about, we almost talk about it almost every meeting, it seems like, too, me and a couple other people, but we went on a collection trip it wasn't really big, not out of country. It was just a creek up in Harrisburg, Sotara Creek, but just collecting natives up there, little, we were catching some baby smallmouth. I had a decent sized rock bass that took home, but just the people going through there. Tara doesn't like talking about it, but she may or may not have fallen face first right into the creek. It was. I'm getting yelled at now, but
I hear.
Well, we're going to take a time out because I'll tell everyone that's watching that not only do we get Blake at the club meetings, and especially at the CCY and at the Clash, but he's a package deal. We also get his wonderful wife, Tara, who is a huge help at the Clash and at the clubs. And I am very confident that the games at the CCY were all 99% off. So, yes. Hello, Tara, if you can hear. Or probably not, because you got headphones on.
She's going upstairs now.
And I'll also highlight that she has donated one of her spare bedrooms of the house so Blake can keep Keystone Clash donations in there for us. So, any other big memories, Blake?
Just in general, it's just such a great experience all around. The shop, we just did a shop hop last weekend down around the Baltimore area, just getting out with the people. We went down to Super Cichlids and J&J Aquatics down in Dover last year or the year before. I can't remember, but just getting out with the club, going to do stuff. A lot of people look at a club it's only once a month meeting, but it's only that way if you make it that way. You got to plan these extra little trips. Even if you go get everybody to go out bowling or something, it doesn't have to be fish all the time. Mm-hmm. And obviously the Christmas party this year is probably hands down one of my favorite events we've done so far.
Yeah. I've actually never been to a shop hop before.
Oh, it's so much fun.
It always happens on a Saturday, and like I said, Saturdays are just really tough for me.
Hey, man, ours was on a Sunday this year.
I've never been to a swap meet either.
What?
No.
Well, hey, our shop hop was this last Sunday, so you didn't have an excuse for that.
I worked last Sunday.
That's okay.
I'm working tomorrow.
He planned it when I was driving home from Tennessee too, so I couldn't go either.
Hey, man, you could have swung through. You could have swung through the way.
I would have been so miserably tired and no fun at all.
You would have been right there with Tara after the first 3 shops. She was just so tired. She's like, I don't want to people anymore.
Jason, welcome. We were actually just talking about you, as a matter of fact. Jimmy P, hello. Yeah, I invited him back, and Lefty was late. I don't know. I might have to replace Lefty with Blake now. We'll get him involved in here somehow. Anything else you want to tell us about the CCY specifically?
I guess coming up, just events. We have next month we're having a bowl show, which is basically like a mini fish show. So we the critter creepers we use at the Keystone Clash. We're very fortunate to have a man by the name of Michael Mull. I know some of you know him. Treasurer of both clubs, backbone. I can say for sure the CCY wouldn't be here without him. Keystone Clash wouldn't happen without him. We're going to have, and like Alishon said, Jen Williams is going to be there. So we're actually going to have the bowl show lined up around. So basically, going to have little critter keepers, bring some fish. We're actually going to do free entry and give members 5 CCY bucks just to participate. And we're going to have awards. Jen Williams is going to do her thing with her aquascaping demo. We always raffle off her aquascape tank. That is always a good fundraiser for the club. And just a general good time. Then the month after that, we don't actually do a meeting. We do a swap meet and a cookout. So I usually man the grill for a couple hours, and everybody goes and buys fish. And
when's that?
Wow.
Which one? The swap and cookout?
One?
The July 2nd.
Oh, hey, that's summer. I can come to that.
Hey, you should. It's my wife's birthday too, so you got to get her a
School's
present.
out. I got a whole cabinet full of Yankee candles. I'm good. I'll grab one. Reach in, grab one, and go.
Hey man, candles and coffee mugs, you'll make her day.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah, and Jen Williams is a huge supporter of the Clash and offers us a wealth of knowledge to help us out. She's spoken at the Clash last year. She did an aquascaping demo.
And spoke. Was that the year before she spoke?
The year
Last year.
before. She spoke last year?
Mm-hmm.
She did?
Oh, I don't even remember that.
I don't remember that last year.
I didn't get to see many speakers, unfortunately.
Maybe that's when our Airbnb guy was bending Susie and my ear off for an hour.
Yeah. Her talk was actually on aquascaping too.
Yeah, it was definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. She also goes around to the different clubs. I've seen her talk at different clubs before. So yeah, she's a great supporter also. I'll have to try to make it next month. I doubt I'll be able to, but I'll try.
Just use a vacation day or call out. Just a job.
Yeah, just a job.
Yeah, who needs to pay rent nowadays?
Yeah. Pay $70 to fill your gas tank. What do you need to do that for?
Yeah, Jason, I wonder who those people were. Those jerks.
Calling out will definitely help me buy that house so I can have a fish room. Jen Williams did a demo that some drunk people at the bar drowned out. I do remember that. Were you one of them, Jason? See, I don't remember you from the.
There might be 3 of us here.
Huh?
Oh,
Right,
yeah.
2 of us on panel might have been involved too.
Oh, you were at the bar also?
Possibly.
Oh.
Sure, no.
Okay. It's all making sense now. All right. Do the other 2 co-hosts have any questions for Blake or anything about clubs?
So, well, I have one question about yours. Is your meeting the same time at the same day of the month every month, or do you vary?
You asking me or Scotty or both?
You.
No, this month was an exception. So scheduling conflict, we had to do it the second Saturday, but we always do ours the first Saturday of the month. And Scotty's club does third Saturday. And most of the clubs try to keep it very consistent just so we don't kind of step on each other's toes and we can plan for
Okay.
it.
Yeah, that's one thing that I think definitely hurts clubs is when things are double booked. And I see it happen a lot, and it sucks in my opinion. It's nobody's particular fault. We just gotta all, as a group, do a better job of communicating with one another. Today there was the Lehigh swap and your meeting.
Capital Cichlid.
Yeah, I don't even know. I've never been there, but
That's another good club. They do the big fish deal.
I've never been to that.
I thought you just bring that back.
And then I know coming up, Diamond States, which their annual auction is going to be the same day as an ACLC meeting. The Killifish Club's upcoming picnic is the same day as something else. So it's just it sucks when different things are going against one another when we could all just communicate, work together, and I think that would help a lot. I was there too and bought a lot of the drinks. Okay.
It must suck to have so many options to choose from locally.
I had no clue who all was at the bar. The audio just sucked as it was, and then there was all these drunk assholes over at the bar screaming. It all makes sense now.
That was your fault for having that bar open.
Yeah. Yeah.
They definitely made a lot of money that night.
There's no doubt in my mind. Lefty, you got anything?
No, I'm good.
All right, well, let's open up to the chat. Anyone in chat have any questions for Blake, the CCY, or clubs in general?
See, I would have had probably some other questions if I was told he was our special guest today.
It was a last minute
I didn't even know there was going to be a special guest.
Yeah, see, communication really sucks.
Yeah.
Did you explain to the people what CCY bucks are, Blake, before I got here?
No, I did not.
So,
Lucky is actually, or Lefty is very lucky to have some CCY bucks in his possession that he might get to use one day. So basically, we use our own like club's currency in a way. We give it out as like prizes, but basically, we do them like $5 increments. It's like a Monopoly money type of deal. But basically, you win it as prizes, and we let you use it towards auction items, memberships. If you at one of our swaps, you know, pay for your vendor table with that. Basically, you can use it for anything CCY related. But it's just a nice, easy way for us to give out a prize that people can actually use. And I recommend doing it if your club's not doing it. Just if you need if you do like a game or something, just want to give out a quick, easy prize. We just have like a stack of them to throw them out.
Yeah, absolutely. Hello, Michelle E. Welcome. Unfortunately, I guess that would be New Jersey Aquarium Society and ACLC meet the same Saturday. Yeah,
North Jersey.
North Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just sucks because they're, I guess, about an hour and a half apart from each other, and people could go to both if they were different times or different days. But I guess that is a problem with having so many clubs in the area. That it is tough. It's tough, and there's, some clubs do it on weeknights. I know Diamond State is on Mondays, Bucks County is on Thursdays, and I hate the fact that they're on the evenings because, especially, Diamond State's not a big deal because it's 5 minutes down the road for me, so that's fine. But Bucks County is a solid hour drive for me each way, and it gets to be a late night. We usually don't wrap up there until 10 o'clock or so, and I don't get home till 11. Then if I buy any fish, I got to acclimate them and everything. So it's a long day for me for sure. All right. Any questions from chat? I'm not seeing any. Give them a couple minutes if they have anything. Lefty's got a message.
Apparently.
Robert's here. Freshwater and a big word is here. I've had a long day. I'm not trying to sound that out. All right. Any advice for anyone, Blake, for clubs or people that haven't been to them, or ways to get the most out of them?
I definitely think. I mean, if you have a club, I'd say even within 2 hours max, even a little bit more. I just go meet the people. I actually got into a wasn't really a debate, more of a discussion with somebody. It was I normally don't involve much in the Facebook groups, but some guy commented. He's like, "What do you feel is the best way to get information for the hobby?" And I was the first one to comment. I said, "Go find your local club, get out there, and said typically find the oldest guy in the back corner of the room, go and strike up a chat with him. You're going to learn so much more." And some guy got on. He's like, "Well, no, you're going to learn more from YouTube." And I said, there definitely are great YouTubers out there. I mean, people with 40, 50 years experience, like Dave Ramsey, we had him at the Clash one year. He's on YouTube with tons of subscribers, great guy. But I said, when you're sitting there face to face with somebody and, you know, they have the knowledge you want to obtain, it's going to be so much easier having face-to-face conversation than, you know, you can see a video that's 5 years old, has all the information you want, but you want to ask a question. You comment on a 5-year-old video, you might not get a response, or might not be able to reach out, or I don't know. Just having like that person that's face to face, you know, you could text them, call them anytime. Like that's why I'm so fortunate. Lonnie Langione's been like my mentor for the past 10 years in the organized hobby. He has 50 years of experience underneath his belt. I could text him or call him any time of day with a question. He's right there to answer it. So just having that bond with the more experienced and veteran hobbyists in your club, definitely beneficial. And get involved too. Definitely get involved in your club. I mean, I was just a basic member for 7 years and got on the board now, but I definitely recommend just get involved if you can. It's a lot more behind the scenes work than people realize running a club, especially ours right now. We only have me, the vice president, and the treasurer. We don't have a secretary, member at large. We just finally got another BAP chair, but we're running very, very short staff. So definitely get involved, help out your board members any way you can. Even just show up a couple minutes early to help set up, or stay a little bit to help tear down. Anything helps.
It's that's a good point. Is that it's challenging getting people to help.
It is.
I know of a few clubs that are really struggling because there's lack of people helping out, and I'm fortunate enough at ACLC that we've had some people step up, and we have a pretty full, if not full, I guess it is full, board, and I'm vice president of the club, and I'm extremely active and do a lot of work, but I'm able to pick and choose what I help with, and Joel's good about that also, not putting too many responsibilities on me because of the Clash.
Right.
And that's, you know, helps out a lot. But there's other clubs that are just hurting for people to help and do things, and they're not able to do much because they don't have the participation.
Yeah, you guys definitely have a really great support system in the ACLC. I mean, you have more people helping than you could probably ask for. It's amazing up there.
It's great, and it allows us to do a lot for the members. I mean, just next Saturday alone, it's going to be a damn good time for the members.
I took off just to go to it. I'm excited for that.
Right. I mean, we're going to be doing a lot. We have some awards to give out.
Your donations,
food. It's going to be a good time. Not to mention the speaker. Right?
Love Chris Carpenter. He's a great speaker.
Right. It's just it allows us to do a lot. So we do have some things going on in chat that I do want to watch this. Hold on. I'm going to get fancy. Here we go. Okay. There we go. So, Rico brings up a point. Problem is, a lot of those old guys don't want to talk to newcomers. And I have seen that there are some people that are older or not even necessarily older, but just so experienced in the hobby that there are some that really don't want to talk too much. But then I'll disagree also that there are a lot that love. They'll spend an hour talking to you and go a million different directions. and then there's people that aren't as experienced that are, I would agree and say, that are extremely willing to help out a newcomer. And then you have the unfortunate part is you'll have some even less experience that will say just getting out of those newcomer stages where they could probably be the most help because they just literally experience those same challenges that newcomers have, but they still feel that they are new themselves, so they really don't want to have that conversation and help. But I guess it all depends on the person.
Yeah, I gotta say, I've been very fortunate to never have somebody with that much experience just not wanting to talk. I mean, I've seen it, I've heard about it. Like, there's certain people I could name that I'm not going to do, but
Right.
like I know just from I came into the CCY, I was God, it's 26 now. My God, I'm 16 years old when I joined, and right as I walk in the door, Scott McLaughlin comes right to me. I had no idea who he was. He pulls up a chair for me to sit at after the speech is over, or the presentation's over. Lonnie comes over, takes me under his wing, like, "Hey, I'm Lonnie, and I'm glad to see a nice young face here. Just come and join our club." Because I mean, let's be honest, there's not that many young people. Like I've up until you probably know Anna, that's really tight with Super Cichlids. She's still a teenager, but until she just recently joined our club, I've been the youngest member for 10 years straight. So it's you don't see many young people, but then like other people I've met over the years, like Alshon, Tom Galuli. I mean, he's definitely has his fair share of years in this hobby. He's a great one to talk to. Joel can, I mean, mixed feelings with Joel. Some people, I've always gotten along with Joel. I know Joel can come off tough, but I mean, you got a question about killifish rainbows, he's going to help you out. He's not going to degrade you and belittle you. But I have seen some people jump on and like basically just belittling people. Like, you should know this, but I got to say, for the most part at these clubs, at least in our area, I can't speak for other areas, but in our area, our older members are always more than welcome to give you a hand, give you advice. And that's why I hands down say the best way to get your information is to your local club.
Absolutely. One thing that I did not ask, and if I had planned this better and knew you were coming and invited you earlier and told my co-host that you were coming, I could have written it down also. But what got you into the club?
I was when I kept fish since I was really young, like 5 years old, but I really started getting into like guppies, like line breeding guppies around like 12, 13. And all of a sudden, you start with one fish, you get another. I started learning about what cichlids were, and I found the Cichlid Club of York on Facebook, and I commented and I'm like, hey, who has yellow labs? Because as far as I read, that was the easiest African cichlid to breed. And a woman by the name of Carrie Dilks messages me. She's like, oh, I have a pair of them you can have. She's like, just come by my place. She was also in my town of Hanover where I live, and found out she was like 10 minutes up the road, and went to her house, and I was there for about 3 hours. Because if anybody remembers Carrie, I'm sure Alishon remembers Carrie. Carrie doesn't stop talking. I love Carrie to death, but she will not stop talking. And she just going on about, hey, this club meets over here. We're going to start meeting in Dover. And she's like, you should come over. I'll give you a ride up and you can meet some people. And showed up that morning to her house, and she was on the front porch in her pajamas saying, hey, I'm not going, but can you pick up some fish for me from Jay Stevens? And I'm like, sure, whatever. And drove up to Dover, and that was history from there. It was just very welcoming.
Yeah. Well, speaking of yellow labs, they're in the ACLC auction coming up. How big do they get? Are they friendly or what?
Those are actually mine. The ones, I have a adult breeding group downstairs. They're 4 or 5 inches, not too terribly big, but you want to, just like most of your Rift Lake species, you want to keep them in a group. That was my mistake. She gave me a pair of them, and they don't really do that well in a pair, but you live and you learn.
I got a 46 with some other cichlid thing. I don't know what it is. And, 2 good in there. I might throw them in there. They look nice.
What's your other cichlid thing?
I don't know. A Cribensis.
Is it a breeding pair by any chance?
No, it's just one.
Good for you. Listen, them things are like,
they're mean when they're a breeding pair. I would say I wouldn't put almost anything with it. They're mean as hell from West Africa like that. But
I mean, just that. They breed all this stinking time? You always got babies.
Yep, that's how yellow labs are too. You always have holding females.
Nice. Yeah, I'll highlight Blake a little bit here. He is working hard on getting that BAP award at ACLC. He shows up out of nowhere with like 5 BAP entries, and he's been back every damn month with them too.
Yeah, 8 the last one. I got 4 coming this one. I'm shooting
Yeah.
for that breeder of the year on that.
I can tell.
I got a question now.
Yes, sir.
Since Scotty brought that up,
Mhm.
because I have not ever been involved in a club, I've been thinking about it. With that, what you were talking about, how do you prove that you have bred them? Do you bring the fry in with you?
So every club does it. Their BAP programs vary. They're pretty much a standard, but they vary in a way, if that makes sense. So like with our club, we have it so if you breed the fish, we actually just changed it. We used to do you have to raise the fry to 60 days. We just changed it to 1 month. But we have a Facebook group, which we really should be promoting more because people haven't really used it in a while. But our BAP programs are pretty stagnant for a while. But we do it where you take a picture of the fry and you upload it there and you fill out a BAP form and then submit it to our BAP chair. ACLC does it. If I'm not mistaken, you do have to bring fry in to ACLC, right?
Yes.
And you do have to donate them to the auction, or no?
I'm not positive on the donation part. If you donate it, I know you get extra points. And it has to be at least 6.
Yeah, that's pretty standard. Your 6 fry of a certain age, but it's a nice little friendly competition for the club. I think it's a good way to bring more experience to the members too, because like if you really want to get into the competitive side, it encourages you to get different types of species you wouldn't keep.
Yeah.
Encourages you to learn about them. But I think it's a very good program. On the other side,
and this year we're doing something new where after a certain amount of proceeds of the auction are received, anything additional is being put towards the awards for the winners.
oh, very cool.
Yeah, so like the last meeting, the auction did extremely well with a lot of the BAP donations, and it.
Oh my God, those rainbows that Rich Bresser brought like $50.
Exactly. So once we receive, and it's a low amount. I want to say it's like $200 or $300, and over the course of the year. So once we bring in that much for the donated portion, everything additional is going to go towards the winner, to the winner. Alshon has a question that I will let Skipper and Lefty answer. Has the YouTube setup been finalized for the Clash?
No, not yet.
There are some details that I think are finalized, though, right? Or at least you have an idea of, like the room. You're going to have 4 tables.
Yeah, that's it. That's all we have finalized right now.
So, yes, there is going to be a fish tube room that will be available for doing interviews at a minimum, I believe. I know Callie is going to be bringing some equipment to use in that to help out for anyone that needs it. And the Fish Fam, because they are a platinum sponsor, is going to have 4 vendor spaces, 10 by 40 in the corner. And it's completely up to the family what is done in those areas.
I can tell you at least 2 of the spaces. One is going to be the raffle for the Keystone Clash. The second one, we would like to set up a table to where people can set like stickers and stuff on. With that being said, if you can't go and would like to have stickers placed on that table, shoot me an email. I'll give you my address and you can send them to me and I'll make sure they get put there.
Apparently in North Ireland, there are no clubs.
They might have different restrictions too, because I know I talked to some people from other countries, and they're like, "Man, I would love to get a quarter of the fish you guys can get." So it's amazing how different it is.
Freshwater ichthyology. Look at that. My Delaware education worked for that one. I am a member of a specialist society, and they are really welcoming to everyone and really supportive. I have found that of most clubs. I'm interested in what is the Special Society, if you could tell us more about it. Let's see here. I have a few local general ones, and honestly, given some of the members' attitudes towards someone like me, I never went.
Oh,
So exactly, there's a mix. Travel 3 to 6 hours north of the special. Oh boy, that's worse.
I can say, with my experience last year, with that being my first event and also my first anything that was involved with a club, was whenever I went in there to help set up, they didn't care. We just talked.
Mhm.
Now, whenever I finally did tell them I was part of YouTube, they gave me a look. I said, "Huh," and I had to say some stuff, but it was good. Everybody, like, if I had a question, because they start talking about a fish I never heard of, I was like, "Really?" And they tell me about it. It's pretty neat. And
Well, we have
one
to be because we want those airlines to get hung.
exactly. That's being done differently this year. They're going to be connected before the tube goes up in the air.
I did that in the 2019 Clash. I hung that airline, and man, that is just so time consuming.
Well, the easiest way to do it is going to be put all the airlines on, then raise
Oh
the
yeah,
tube up.
putting 300 tanks having your arm just hanging up there in the air that whole time, man. That you get worn out pretty quick.
Did you see me straddling some of them tanks? Imagine if my fat butt would have fell.
I'd cry.
Yeah,
From
me
laughter.
too.
Danny, or no, it's probably Kenny, I should say. Kenny, hello, sir. I hope you're feeling well. He had surgery recently.
All right,
And North Jersey Aquarium Society had to cancel the spring auction because of the lack of volunteers. Same thing for the big fish deal, I was told. Yeah, it's tough. It is really tough.
That's the thing. A lot of people they want to come out, they want to enjoy the events, they want to reap the benefits, but they don't want to put in the work. I mean, if you get the Clash, I mean, we've rotated a couple people for a couple hours at a time just to cover registration. I mean, the more people that help with even little odd jobs like that just makes so people can go enjoy the event. Like, I think that's one of the most important things is people go and volunteer, but then they can't enjoy the event. The more volunteers you have, the more everybody can enjoy the event.
I have never been able to get the full experience of the Clash.
Mm-hmm.
My first year there, I was only there for a small part of it because my best friends were getting married. And then I got suckered into the volunteering for it, and at a time when there weren't that many helping, and did a lot there, and then next thing I know, I'm in charge of the damn thing.
You do a hell of a job, Scotty.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I hope we do get more help, and if everybody does a little, a lot gets done. And I do everything in my power to make sure that everyone who helps gets to enjoy the parts that they want to enjoy the most, and that they get to see the speakers that they want to see. And I have seen different speakers that I've really set my heart to, that I really want to see. And I'm not complaining about it. It's I've chosen to do it. But we can definitely use help, even if it's like you said, manning the registration table for an hour or two, or being a runner for the auction.
Yeah, that auction couldn't have went any smoother last year if we tried. That was fantastic.
That was a great
I
auction.
kind of slept through most of it, so I don't remember.
But and even at the local clubs, if you're able to bring let's say you have a child who is 12 years old or older, I'll say. I've even seen them younger, but bring them and let them be a runner, or let them carry the fish with a runner to get the money.
Yeah, we get a guy at our meetings. Do you ever meet a Dave? Oh man, I can't think of his last name. We call him Triple Header Dave. He has a real long, bushy beard, real long head of hair, 2 little boys.
I think I know who you're talking about. Yeah,
he'd be running our auction. He'd be carrying the baby in one arm. He'd have his little boy walking beside him. I mean, but start him young, man.
Yeah, and you bring them to the meeting and let them play with the other kids during the auction. Let them walk beside you as you're taking the fish to the winners, and it puts the fish in their hands, and it might get them into it.
Mhm.
It's great, and it helps. We need the help. That's something at all the clubs. I remember 2 years, well, 2 clashes ago, I'll say, Dave Ramsey was a runner in the
Yeah.
auction,
And he was one of our speakers. I mean, that was
and he was one of our
awesome.
speakers, and out of nowhere he decides to start running with us for the auction.
Yep.
What an amazing experience that was. Let's see here. What else do we have? I don't mind. I'm more into the scientific side of the hobby anyway, and the specialist societies cater for that better. That's interesting. That's something I would. Well, I'm a dumb Delawarean. That would be entertaining. I wish we had something like that around here. Tom is freaking old and mean, but he did bring me pie, so he gets a free pass.
He did too. He did bring Rico pie last year. He sure did.
I've heard a rumor that the doctor's gonna bring some cheesecake this year. I would love
Probably just a recipe.
Oh, speaking of the freaking devil, look who's next on here. There he is.
Yeah, he's been here. He had to leave
He's
already.
been and gone.
Oh, jeez. Am I more than 15? I'm the Rico standard. I might be more than 15 minutes behind in chat.
And Rico already left too.
Yeah.
Good to see you. Susie Q says hi.
So
All
in
right.
about 4 minutes, Rico will be streaming next.
Oh, crap.
Hmm.
Freaking flew.
It did fly by.
Did. And
The
he's doing a
first meeting-
focus on Brooklyn
Oh, it
Bell.
just did that jump thing on me. Crap. Let's see.
Alishon asked, is Dave sending fish again to the auction?
I sent out a mass email back in January to a lot of people, but it turned out a lot of them ended up getting it to their spam folder. So I did just email Dave. He's referring to Dave's Rare Fish, but I did just email him again Thursday or Friday morning and haven't heard back. I'm sure he will. He's very supportive of the events.
The first meetings of the CCY were at Scott's Townhouse, or Townhouse Association Clubhouse. I've seen videos of that.
That hands down to date. We've met in three locations so far. That is hands down my favorite. It is just so, I don't know. You walk, it just feels like it's very homey in there, if that makes sense. Like the other place is at a community center, and it was just basically like a big school. And where we're at now, I mean, you've been there. It's just like a little like Lions Club Lodge, which is still great. It's still a great meeting place. But man, if we wouldn't have outgrown that place where Scott used to have them, that was my favorite spot.
All right. See if there's anything else. Skipper's link for the Clash. Yes, please fill that out.
Lefty's link.
Get a better selection of African fish.
It's our
Yeah,
link,
that's
Skipper.
definitely true.
Special something for particular groups of fishes. I do have fishes. I know the Society offers. Okay, that's cool. Greater Portland Aquarium Plant Auction is tomorrow, and we are the only ones here bagging plants. Ugh.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Marianne Fuller and Mark. Let's see here. Nope. Anything else? Speaker for the Italian. Interesting.
I would actually like to meet Ian Fuller.
All right, and we are down to the 2-minute mark. Thank you, Blake, for joining us. Sorry.
Yeah,
for the
thanks
short
for having
notice,
me.
but
No,
I
you're
figured
good.
it's the weekend, so you'd be fine. Lefty, thanks for joining us, even if you were late. I do appreciate it.
No
Skipper,
problem.
thanks for being on time. I appreciate it. And let's all go over to Rico's stream and watch a focus on Brooklyn Bell. And And any last words, anyone? All right.
Yeah.
We're out. Bye, everyone.
See ya.